Shalom, giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of heaven, the Most High God of the Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I am your brother Zakar, coming with a few quick precepts. Hopefully, this is edifying unto the lambs. So I'm going to open up this session with Genesis, the first chapter, and I'm going to read this in the ESV. It says in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void. And darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God separated the light from darkness. And he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So this is the opening passage here. I wanted to go into the creation narrative and how the assembly will be set up on this dynamic. So the righteous and the wicked, light and darkness are represented here in a symbolic way that's not understood by most. So the light itself, let's actually look into this word. The light should be or. It says the light of day, light of heavenly luminaries, the daybreak or dawn, morning light. So these are all the connotations here that this word or has. It says a common noun, singular, feminine, absolute. The light of day, light of heavenly luminaries. The daybreak, dawn, morning light, daylight, lightning, light of lamp, light of life, light of prosperity, light of instruction, light of face, as in the figurative sense. Yahweh as Israel's light. So let's go over to the book of John, chapter 6. So John chapter 6, and I'll pick it up at verse 44. It says, "No one can come unto me unless the Father who hath sent me draws him, and I will raise him up in the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they will all be taught by God. Everyone who has heard and learned from the Father comes to me. Not that anyone have seen the Father except he who is from God. He has seen the Father. Truly I say unto you, whosoever believes has eternal life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers ate manna in the wilderness and they died. This is the bread that comes down from heaven, so that one may eat of it and not die." So this is the concept of going into this faith in how the children of Israel will be resurrected through faith in Yahweh Shai. So us coming back into the covenant with our power, we have to believe on the testimony, believe on the grace that's given in the Holy Scriptures. Let's go to here. You hear a lot of people throw around that term grace, but grace is simply the strength of the Spirit. So it's a strengthening that the Most High bestows upon you that gives you the necessary strength. So this is 2 Corinthians 12 and verse 9. It says, "3 times I pleaded with the Lord about this, that it should leave me." So this is the Apostle Paul speaking about a thorn that he had in his flesh. So something that he was struggling with particularly. So he's pleading with the Lord that the Lord will give him relief from this thorn. It says, but he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So the grace and the power of Yahweh Shai is synonymous. So this is how we overcome the world. This is how we overcome sin, is by the grace or the power or the light of life, as was referenced in Genesis chapter 1, the light that came to separate those who are in the light versus those who are in the dark. So this is John chapter 8 and verse 12. It says, again, Yahushua spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. So the Pharisees said to him, you are bearing witness about yourself. Your testimony is not true. Yahushua answered, even if I do bear witness about myself, my testimony is true, for I know where I came from and where I am going, but you do not know where I come from or where I'm going. You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one. Yet even if I do judge, my judgment is true, for it is not I alone who judge, but I and the Father who sent me. So the judgment comes from the Father, and he is the light of the world. So as we read back in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, I'll read that again. And I'm reading all of this out of the ESV. So this is Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. It says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light, and God saw the light that it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. And he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. So the light of life, as Yahweh Shai just stated in John chapter 8. In verse 12, again, Yahweh Shai spoke to them, saying, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will not walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And this is going into your understanding. So your senses, the way that you walk in this world, will be in the light. Isaiah 9 and 2, it says, the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. You know, so the greater light that rules the day. It says, those who dwell in the land of deep darkness, on them has light shone. Isaiah 42:16 says, I will lead the blind in a way that they do not know, in paths that they have not known. I will guide them and will turn darkness before them into light and rough places into level ground. These are the things I do, and do not forsake them. And Yahweh Shai actually mentions, he references it here in Matthew 4 and 16. He's quoting from Isaiah 9 and 2. It says, the people, this is Matthew 4 and 16, the people dwelling in darkness have seen a great light. And for those dwelling in the region of the shadow of death, on them a light has dawned. All right, so I pray that was edifying unto the lambs. Until the next time, Shalom.